lighting a little bit better.
Your light looks good, girl.
If I get that. Okay.
Okay, so we are recording. All right. So Diane, you want to talk about fundraising today, and tell me a little bit about what you're hoping to kind of get from fundraising and what you're thinking about, like starting.
Yes, well, as I told you very excitedly, I just got my confirmation letter yesterday, and I've been building up on my Facebook page, raising awareness and having testimonies from the gals that are attending the classes to pull all that together to do an ask. But, you know, I want to do more than that. I'm thinking, you know, putting a list of mainly women I know that have been interested over the years in what I do, and just do a letter.
Okay.
You know, when you talk about partners, for me, it's really churches.
Okay.
It is either pastors, or it is the women's ministry leaders, because a gal who's struggling with domestic abuse will go to one or the other typically.
Okay. And what about women who are not connected to a church? How would you find them?
I am plugging into women's groups, and usually when they do events, it's a mix of women. As I had said in a email earlier, I just had an article accepted by a Christian Women's Network. Yeah, and they reach hundreds of women and hundreds of churches.
Okay, that's been.
So yeah, so that I'm really trying to go in that direction, because that's my audience.
Yeah,
that's my audience.
Yes.
And there's a women's event happening in Pennsylvania this weekend, so I'm going to connect some of the gals I know who know the leadership to say, hey, can you know, get some flyers in your restrooms? Because that's often how gals will know. They'll go into a church, they'll see a flyer in a stall, because it's pretty private, and it's many people don't know what's going on, and you know,
that's right.
So
absolutely. And I think those are great ways. Now, when you put those up, try to make those flyers evergreen, meaning since they're going to see it, make it something that they can see and connect with you. Maybe like if they just get to your website, then they can see that there's an event going on, or there's something or whatever. Don't make it timely, because you don't want to make it so that it's a burden on the people who are putting these flyers up, that they need to go back and take them down. So try to make that as evergreen as you can. Just have a place to direct everyone. So you want to get people to your website, or you want to get people to, you know, whatever it is. Okay. Okay. So, so in talking about the letters, I think that if that's the best way right now to reach your demographic, I think definitely you should go with that.
Yeah.
You know, don't.
Yeah, I have probably 200 churches on a list, churches and individuals. They've been on my mailing list for multiple years.
Yeah.
So that'll also be an avenue. I never know who just says delete and who is actually.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that part. You just need to worry about who's on your list. Don't ever worry about the deletes. Don't ever worry about the unsubscribes. Just worry about who you have on your list. Now, the big thing with that is you don't want to use your newsletter just to sell. Right. So if you haven't been using your newsletter, you need to kind of warm those people up first. Mm-hmm. Like just put out the news and say, you know, I got my 501c3. I'm so excited. You know, this makes us official now. I feel like I can really get out there and make an impact. Whatever it is that you want to say and express, like really make this a joyous like occasion rather than a specific ask. Make that your first piece. Okay. So we're going to put something great out there, and everybody gets to celebrate with you. Yay. Once they celebrate with you, then you can say on the next one, you know, I'm going to start doing X with my newsletter, whatever that is. Like I'm going to start highlighting these women in my newsletter, or I'm going to start, you know, recognizing women in my newsletter that are empowered, or whatever it is that you want to start doing. But do something new in your newsletter and say, if you are not part of my newsletter, I'd love to have you. Please sign up here. So that's a second step, right? So you did the first, like, hey guys, I'm back. Even if you've never been there, hey guys, whatever, this is some amazing news. Even if you haven't been using your newsletter for a while, this is a great time to restart it. Then you have that second, let's just say second week, second month, whatever it is, second week or month. And then you say, hey, you know, I'm doing this new thing with my newsletter. I'd love to have you as part of it. Please sign up here. If you're not already on there, please sign up. Some people that will just be like, oh, I forgot that I was even on that newsletter. I should sign up, or I'll check to see, or whatever the case. On your third one, you can say, you know what, guys, I'm so excited. We've got some new things coming up. I have an event coming up, or I have blah, blah, blah. Or if you're not able to attend, or if you're not able to whatever, be a part of the shout out, whatever it is that you're trying to do, if they're not able to be a part of that and they'd like to support the program, that's when you ask on that third newsletter. So how often do you send out your newsletter?
You know, typically they've gone out before I begin a series, and the series is 5 months long, and I usually do one halfway through that to say, hey, we're still doing this. They're typically very educational. I do have different segments, you know, like the pastors and leaders, they get a lot of resources. So it's not like, gee, every other month I'm doing it, because I've been very sensitive to the fact that, you know, I'm sending a lot to pastors and they're busy, and I don't want to be a bug, because I hate when I get too many newsletters from nonprofits.
Right. No, I totally hear that. So remember this, when you're providing value, you're not bugging anyone. Okay. So yes, you don't want to be a bug if you're just putting out like, hey, buy something. Hey guys, buy this. You know, you're empowering women. These are women that they're connected to. Maybe you want to highlight different pastors. Maybe that's who you need to highlight, you know, along with the women or something. I don't know. Or like what a church is doing. You need to figure out your exact vein that you want to focus in on, and then go through that and highlight somebody in there from that vein. Now, this might take a while. Like you'll see even in today's newsletter when it comes out, I did my first Social Life shout out, and it was just so that I can start providing some value, but I didn't want to do it before I had, you know, something to really share. Right. And so things like this, like what you just, you know, got your 501c3, like all of these things are things that will help my audience do better. Right. It'll make them feel good. It'll make them see the light at the end of the tunnel. So for you have to figure out, what is it that would be beneficial to the pastors and the women that are on my newsletter? Because your bent is a different focus than how you speak to the constituents of your services, right? Of your program. So for your newsletter, if it's too heavy, right? Like right now, it sounds like it might be pretty heavy. You said it's educational resources. So what if you put out a couple resources every couple of weeks, or every month, or every week, or whatever the case, whatever you feel like you need to be doing. But now that you're a 501c3, you need to be in front of these people as often as you can. So I used to do once a week for a newsletter for my nonprofit, and I changed that to once a month, because once a month I can say, okay, we have these kids coming out. Here's what's happening for the month. Here's how, you know, here's how you can get involved. Here's whatever the case, you know, and here's a little exciting thing that happens over the month. But because we take such a long time to do funding for these kids, and we take a long time to do different activities and events and stuff, my overall yearly calendar was able to make that happen so that I could only do once a month. So you need to look at your overall year to see how much stuff do I have really going on. You know what I'm saying? How often do you really need to ask? Because if you need to ask, you know, only twice a year, then maybe you do a quarterly newsletter. Right. You know what I mean? You need to ask, if you need to support something that needs more of a monthly ask, then you need to do a monthly newsletter, or a weekly newsletter if it's even more than that. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to make the ask after about 2 or 3 times that you have not asked. Do you know what I'm saying? You need to like space these out. That's the purpose. Yeah. You're writing the newsletter so you can stay in front of them, and you're always giving value. So you should always be thinking like, what are they going to get out of this newsletter? How am I helping them in this newsletter? Whatever the case, whatever it is. Even if you're saying, hey, we helped, you know, 2 women get out of their homes this year, you know, thank you to the support and whatever. Even if you're always just thinking, that's an okay place to come from. But you don't want it to always be about you and like what you are trying to get from them. So you want it. Right. Yeah. So maybe every 3rd or 4th newsletter, you're asking for something, you know, those will be the keys to how you're going to set up your fundraising plan, or not your fundraising plan, I'm sorry, your newsletter that will incorporate your fundraising plan. Because once you have your fundraising plan set out, you should know that, okay, in May, we're going to ask, in June, we're going to ask, or every 2 weeks in May, or whatever the case, So that's how you want to set up your newsletter. That's just your newsletter. And you have a lot of people, so that's very low hanging fruit. And that's why I'm staying on it so long. Mm-hmm. Anything you decide to do outside of the newsletter, if we come up with anything later, that will be just extra. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Because you're now going to have to put in extra work. You have to get extra help. You have to put in extra time to think through it, Mm-hmm. So you really want to focus on that low hanging fruit, which is great that you have so many people on that list. Mm-hmm. Now you just need to cultivate that relationship. Show them what you're doing, show the results, all those types of things. So focus on making sure they understand everything you're doing, everything that's happening in your program, the results you're getting, the wins you're getting, the small and the big wins that you're getting from the people. And then you can make the ask. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Acknowledge, highlight, show results. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's on your newsletter piece. You can also send out, and I would ask some of your partners, if they become your partners, number one, you have to think about what is a partner, okay, for you, and what are you planning to give them for that partnership. Mm-hmm. And second, you want to try to see if there's a way that you can get to their congregation. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? So whether you're doing a women's leadership conference and or a women's leadership speech and you would like to come speak to their congregation, great. Because you want to spread the word about this impact and this, all this stuff that's going on. You want to make sure that you're thinking in response to, what does this congregation need? Like if it's been a pastor who's been helpful to you and has really made something possible for your organization, you want to start your speech out by thanking that person and saying, our program, whatever. I don't have to tell you all the stuff on the speech, but basically, you want to start getting to the masses, and the masses you already have access to. Mm-hmm. So when I go into a school and I talk to a principal, I ask them, part of my whole process is, okay, great, you like the program. Now I just need access to all of your teachers, because the more teachers who know, the more kids I can get, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The more people that you speak to, the more women that you can help, and the more people can help you. So you're not asking the church to support you, you're asking the congregation to support your mission. Mm. Do you think that's a possible thing for you to do?
Yes. Yes. I'm just pretty tied up right now trying to get these revisions done, because we're trying to get the curriculum to get it self-published by the fall. Sure. So, it may not happen right now. And that's totally fine. We're just talking about fundraising options for you. Yes. Right? Yes. And so I want, when you get done with your reviews and revisions and all of that, I want you to be able to hit the ground running. I want you to be able to think about these things now over the summer, into the fall. When your revisions are complete, you can be setting up meetings, for September, for October, whatever it is, whenever you'll be done. And start setting up those meetings now, because you're probably going to get a lot of no's as well. Mm-hmm. Or there will be some conflicts, or, we've got this retreat. No, we can't do it that time, might go into next year. It's okay, but you want to put these things in motion as soon as you can. Right. Yeah. Well, the great thing about fall for me is that October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So that's always, I get like 3 emails. Yeah. And then I start my series, so I can get the awareness and say, hey, this class is starting. So when you're talking about the series, are you talking about for lay people, or are you talking about for the domestic violence victims and survivors? Yeah. Okay. Victims and survivors. Okay. So that's such a small group that you already have focus on. Mm-hmm. You're creating awareness about it. Yes. But in order to get the fundraising
we're talking about a whole different demographic.
Right. Well, okay, maybe I misunderstood. The classes are for these gals, but my newsletter is for everyone else.
Yes.
I mean, they're usually not even on my list.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. When you're talking about in October, you're talking about which group?
Well, going to church, trying to get in to do some speaking engagements at the churches.
For everyone.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I just want to make sure we're on the right page. I was like, oh gosh, have I been talking to the demographic? Okay. Yeah. So, so that is good. Yeah. So you'll be doing your course during that time. You need to, honestly, you guys, like the most important thing you can do is to write out your yearly plan. Fundraising, branding, all of that stuff. Yes, they are separate, but you also need a yearly plan on like, this is when things have to be done in order for me to function, That way you can look out so far in advance and you can say, okay, I know that in May I need to make the ask. So that means that in April, you need to be warming everybody up. You need to be active and making sure that you are good on your social media. You're good on your fundraising plan with your board. Like everything has been executed long before you get to May. Mm-hmm. So, okay. So partners, you really want to focus on that this year then, creating those partnerships with churches, pastors, ministry leaders, women's groups, and shelters is what I also wrote down. You're going to, if you want that constant cycle of women, you're going to need to do that. And then if you want the congregation and the ability to keep speaking, you need to be able to do that. And that's, so you really are trying to create awareness to find the people and create awareness for people to support you.
Right.
So, what was this letter that you were talking about? Was that the newsletter or was that something completely different?
This article?
No, you said I have a letter.
Oh, the nonprofit confirmation letter? Oh, the new.
Maybe it was the newsletter. Maybe you were referring to the newsletter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just said, it's an email. Yeah, my email.
And now you were talking also about having some sort of women's conference or something.
There is a women's conference in Pennsylvania. So I know the pastor's wife and one of my previous Oasis gals, and she led for me for a little while, goes there. So if I'm going to contact them to say, can you mention the Oasis class and maybe
just
generate
at that conference, or you're
just at that conference, and just to generate awareness of the class to see if there's more gals. Now that's specific, just to say, hey, here's a resource. If you're struggling in your marriage, here's a resource for you. There's an online class. And
okay.
It's not so much fundraising as it is just looking for gals that have a need.
Right. That's more of awareness side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your I guess I need to know, what is your biggest struggle? Is it awareness and getting more girls, or women, or is it finding women and people who want to support the program?
I feel like both. You're always looking for women. It's so hard for them to come forward, and it just takes a lot of courage. So like a lot of people will need to hear about to even be able to pick up the phone and call.
Absolutely, yeah.
And since I'm now a nonprofit, then my head is more geared towards, okay, how can we raise awareness to have people come alongside? I mean, I've had people, I've got people that when I send an email, hey, I'm so glad you're still doing this. They're out there, but it's never been to support. It's just supporting what I do.
Right.
But I need to really broaden that awareness among more women, because they're the ones that will have a heart to come alongside of.
And so that's what I'm asking, because when you're doing these conferences and when you're going to the conference, I think you really need to have two separate ways that you're looking at this. One being, okay, today I'm putting on my awareness hat and I want people to know that, this is a place for women who are abused. Mm-hmm. You're going to be going to different channels on that, period. Like you should always be thinking of different channels. This is like a Starbucks flyer. This is maybe a Facebook ad. This is creating a video or something that can be shared, you know, with family and friends or anyone that you might know someone. This is a little bit more like plaster the walls so people know that, you know, if you are in a position and you need help, we're here. Okay. That message, the vehicles that you would use, the mediums that you would use are all very different. With your finding funds for people to support you, you want to get women. So for women who are not, we are not broken and we do not have, you know, maybe we're not looking at it for marital issues. We know how to handle those things, all those types of things. When you're going to a conference and those women are there, speaking about what you do as far as, can you share that there are these classes online for marriage counseling, or yeah, I'm not saying counseling, but you know what I mean, is not going to trigger the same thing as, you know what, we have a women's empowerment. We need strong women to come and support and give your testimony about whatever it is. Like, are there any women that would be willing to step up and share, you know, their stories and share their struggles and their empowered, you know, thinking or whatever? That's the message you need to be putting out for those people. So my fear is that you might be putting too much energy in some of the wrong places. You know what I'm saying? So if we can switch that though, you've got a lot, that's what I'm saying. If you've got a lot of Christian women, whether on your newsletter or you don't know them yet, you're going to a conference, wherever, the message has to change. That message, you know, and you really should. And I think we talked about this last time, is like, maybe have some sort of Facebook group for those empowered women and know what your goal is with those women. Okay. What is your goal? Are you trying to highlight them as, you know, these are strong women who still struggle with things, and you're trying to show your class that, because you're going to wrap it into your resources and classes for these other women who, you know, are victims? Are you sharing testimony? Like what is it exactly that you'd like to do? Because there are so many Christian women out there who are running women's workshops and running, you know, things at their churches and things like that. Those would be the types of women you would connect with so that you can get in front of their congregation. So what are you thinking on that? I know I just talked a lot. I'm sorry. Where do you feel like you're lacking?
Yes, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. And you have said that, you know, it's not the first time you've said that. So,
what's holding you back from doing that? Like, what's the stopping point for you?
I have to think about that. I mean, I can certainly think of specific people I know that are very empowered and would have a message.
Yeah.
So I think maybe tapping into those I know. Sometimes, you know, to just do a broadcast out there, like I have gals that say, oh, I really want to help, and, you know, I would like to lead a class.
But I'm not talking about that deep. I'm not talking about getting that deep into your organization. I'm talking about like as simple as highlighting some women, just, you know, on your Facebook page. Like maybe your Facebook page becomes all about empowered women. And from that, you are empowering other women. So your job is to empower other women. As an example of exactly what I'm talking about, I take celebrities who have had sometimes rough childhoods, or they were scouted or whatever. I take what I'm trying to do with these little kids to show, right, that like, hey, it doesn't matter where you come from, okay? You can change your future. That's what I'm trying to say to my little ones. And so for the celebrities, I'm just showing like, look, there are people out there who came from the same place you came from. You don't have to show that people are coming from the same place, but you need to show what empowered women. You're giving good examples is what I guess I'm trying to say. Any Christian woman who is empowered enough to say, yes, I will give my testimony, and I will speak like good words into these women. here's my little piece of advice or whatever little truth nuggets, and you show a picture of them on your social media, and they give you, they don't have to give you their whole life story. They just need to give you a little nugget of inspiration, right? But what I'm trying to say is people like to be highlighted. They honestly don't even really care what it's about. They just want to be recognized and seen. And you have a lot of women around you who are working very hard. They take care of a family. They, whatever it is, work at home mom, stay at home, whatever, all the work at home, work from home, all these things, whatever it is, it all works, right? And they are still, everyone struggles to be empowered every single day, no matter whether they're a victim or they're not a victim. And so you want to pull those things out. What you're trying to show your abusive women from abuse situations is like empowered, and empowerment means lots of different things, right? It doesn't mean that they have their stuff together all the time. It doesn't mean that they, whatever. It just means that, and you will find some women that you talk to will have had an abusive relationship in the past. And maybe they're willing to share that. But your goal is just to have a platform to highlight, well, I'm not telling you what your goal is, but if I would just say, like, you'd want to have some sort of platform where women can come together and support each other. And maybe you have, a weekly class, or no, don't have another class. You can't have another class. You have a lot going on. But maybe you have like a Facebook group of empowered women that empowered Christian women, right? And maybe you do a live every month or something that you do for these women, or they do as a group, or whatever it is. I don't know, but you have to figure out, you're basically running two separate things, honestly. Highlighting these empowered women to show these women over here, what that is, and to get exposure.
Right.
That's the main point of it all. Like, I'm taking you a different route, but the main point of it all is to gain exposure for these women by highlighting these women, okay? Because these women over here are like, oh my God, I just got highlighted in the Living Waters Journal of Empowered Women or whatever, And so they're going to share it, right? Because they're proud of themselves. And then other people will be like, what is Living Waters Journal of Empowered Women? I know you don't have this, but I'm just throwing that out there.
And that would be a public. I mean, that's not a private group.
No, that's totally public. Totally public. Because you want people, basically what you're doing is telling these women, hey, thanks for being here. You guys are truly an example of what it means to be empowered. And, I'm able to show from your testimony in your life and whatever these other women, that they can do this, and that there are women out there who are ready to support you, and blah, 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 whatever, and then, sorry, and I'm going to shut my mouth in just a second. But then, and only then, Diane, do you say, okay, you know what? This woman has been amazing. I trust her. She has always had good advice. She's very empowered. She's strong. Like, she fits the bill for a teacher. Then you can ask her, would you ever be willing to teach a class? Or people will come up to you and say, like, hey, like, can I do more? Or whatever. And then you can ask those women that have been empowered, like, would you mind helping out and donating to this cause? Or when you make your first event, that's how that works.
I love that. Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, got it.
My question is, could that be part of my regular Facebook page, where I might highlight someone once a month, or?
Absolutely. What do you mean your regular Facebook page?
I have a Facebook page, a Living Waters of Hope Facebook page.
That's where it should be.
Okay, so just incorporating that is another facet.
Yes. Now, what I will tell you is this, and when you watch that social media live or whatever, it's in the tribe, okay? It's buried down somewhere, but just look for it. I don't know how to tell, or maybe you can go to like the video section. You might be able to find it easier that way. What I will tell you though is that when you're using Facebook, okay, unless you're doing ads, which is totally fine to do ads, and I recommend that, like, even like if you just do $5 a month or something on some ads, okay, you're only reaching the people that you know and potentially the people that they know. So I call this an in post. This is not like it doesn't, to me, like Facebook doesn't really do much for you. Like it's good for a group, and it's good to have, you know, like you can always direct people to your Facebook page. And of course you should always be posting there if you're going to have people there, but you need to find some sort of outpost. Okay. So something that reaches people that you don't know. So that would be a place like Twitter. That would be a place like Pinterest or Instagram, or any place where you can group yourself with other people that don't know you, like through hashtags, or it's just open to people in general. Like they could just happen upon your post, like Twitter. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Pinterest is a search engine. So if you were putting up, say you were putting up empowered women in their quotes or something, you put up their quotes on Pinterest, okay, like as motivation, and link it back to Living Waters
right
website, okay? So, and then maybe under each one you can say, you know, support women that are, you know, victims of domestic violence or whatever. These are the types of things that you have to think about, because just doing it on Facebook is not going to get you very far. Mm-hmm. It just isn't. Yeah. So you might want to do YouTube. YouTube gets you out there. You could do a podcast where you talk about inspirational things, or maybe you have women come on and talk about being empowered Christian women coming on, you know, and people can find you organically. People won't find you organically on Facebook. Mm-hmm. So that's why, you know, that, I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm. And again, don't worry about the vanity metrics on this. Don't worry about, you know, how many people you have on Facebook, how many people you have on Instagram, wherever. Worry about the people that you have on that newsletter that you actually can connect with. That's very low hanging fruit. It's people that you can actually, you know, say, hey, Joy, can you support me or whatever? Because that's the newsletter you're also going to use when you say, hey, you know, we've got a woman who's ready to leave. She doesn't have enough money to get into a whatever. Please go and support through Living Waters of Hope, and tell them they can tag it with whatever the woman's name, you know, Maria or whatever. Mm-hmm. But you have to have these processes in place. So that's what I want you to think about is, if I told someone to donate, where am I going to tell them to donate, and how would they donate?
Right. I mean, right now, because I don't have the web page set up for receiving anything.
Yeah.
And I'm not ready to put money into that because we have a lot of thought as a board to figure out.
You can get a PayPal and do it that way.
Yeah. So I've got a PayPal account. So I'm going to link that to the Facebook. And I'm just going to say, you can mail a check to this PO box, or you can,
that's right.
You know, click this to go through PayPal.
Yes.
So I'm ready to do that.
Yes, that's good. And those are great starting points. Those are the starting points. The aesthetics of things, I don't want you to get too focused on that. You know, if you don't have the processes in place, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. You know, so the website, just leave the website the way it is. It looks fine. It's fine. When you start to grow and you have time to like write your ideas down about your website or whatever, and to find a website person, that's fine. But just for now, try to think about what you want by the next 3 months. Mm-hmm. You know, we're going to do another 90-day goal setting. I actually would like to redo the one that I did originally, because that did not go like I would like it to go. But I want you guys to really be thinking about every 3 months, okay? Because within those masterminds, you guys should be chatting with each other and talking about different things. And I will create like a meeting section for you guys to be able to use. But you guys will have to come up with that date. You know what I mean? When you guys are all going to get on. And I might be doing that for you anyway, so I can at least get these things going so you can see how it's supposed to start.
Yeah.
But the purpose of that is so that, okay, like, can you go through my website and just run through it, right? Not you, I'm saying, but when you get the PayPal link going, mm-hmm. you want somebody to just go through and give you $1 to make sure that it actually works. Mm-hmm. Those are the types of things you would use your mastermind for. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Talking about, you know, oh, I want to do this highlight thing. Would you guys be willing to do that? Or can you look this over? Does the graphic look okay? Whatever it is, these types of things, right? So that you can always be constantly moving over. But for now, I want you to just get your things set in order to, okay, I have my 501c3. What's the first thing? What's most important right now that you need to do? I'm really asking that one.
Okay. Wrap up my PayPal, get that tied into my Facebook.
Okay.
I want to make a video, quickie, just saying, hey, kind of share the excitement, and I've never done a video yet, so it'll be my first one, and it makes sense. Yeah. Just a couple minutes by some pretty scenery.
Yeah. And talk about, really quick, just on that, on your video, also talk about what it's taken to get here.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for the last, and be excited. Like, hey guys, I've been doing this for the last however many years. And, we've touched a lot of lives, and I love what I do, and I'm living my purpose, whatever, say all these things. And I have some great news to share, and blah, 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 blah. I got this, whatever. And, I'd love to have any support that you guys are willing to do. A lot of the support that we will get will help women get this, this, and this, and this, whatever it is, whatever they're going to get from that support. Okay. Or you can just leave it at, if you'd like to support us, you can. That's a very laissez-faire, kind of, okay, if you want to support me, great. If not, don't worry about it, and don't say if not. But but then on your newsletter, and then say something about I'll be using my newsletter a lot more. You'll be seeing a lot more of what, right? So
yeah.
Tell them that, because it's just like talking to a friend. You may not sit down and say, I got my 501c3. Will you give me $20 now? You would tell them what's going on, and that's the thing. This is totally a long game. Realize that these people are not leaving you anytime soon. You're not 100% ready, for an influx of whatever.
Yeah.
You have to know what you're going to do with that money once you get it. Like, what is the goal, and why do I have this goal? Right? Do you know what that goal is, and do you know what your goal is for fundraising?
Right now it's just like admin costs, because I don't have a lot of costs other than admin.
How much is your cost, and what does that pay for?
Okay, so it's paying for my hosting, it's paying for my mailbox each month, it's paying for my security bank account, it's paying for my Office 360, it's just
okay, so
maybe 150 a month roughly, postage, all those things.
So you're looking to essentially raise $1,200. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what if I should say 500, or do we do 12,000? 1,200. I mean, the big chunk is going to be, at some point we've got to get something on the website for people to donate, so I can drive them to the website and they can donate there.
Well, you can also use your Facebook page to say, how many people do you have on your Facebook page right now?
Not a whole lot. I've just started like a month ago. So
like 50?
Yeah, probably about that. Yeah.
Okay. So you can also use your Facebook page as a way to say, hey, you guys, I just got my 501c3. I'm hoping to raise this much money, to cover my expenses. How long does that cover your expenses? For a year?
Oh, that's a good question. I have to put pencil to paper. Yeah.
Right. So do that. Put your pencil to paper. Figure out exactly how much you need, exactly what all it covers. People like transparency, and they're much more apt to give when they can see exactly what it is that you need. Like, why am I giving you $100? Why?
Right.
So if it's to pay for hosting and mailbox and security bank accounts, Office 365, be 100% clear about that, and just put it out there and say, as you can see, this is what it takes to run the organization. I've tried for years to keep it very lean. And I would just love, now that I'm a full-fledged nonprofit, make it fun. Like, I'd be happy to send you your tax deduction, like whatever it is, like use your personality to your benefit and do it on all platforms. Do it on your newsletter,
right?
Do it on your Facebook page, do it everywhere. Okay. And on the Facebook page, when you ask for, like, is your birthday coming up? Did it pass already?
February.
February. Okay. Because sometimes you can use your birthday and just say, I'm raising funds for my organization or whatever the case, right? Now, what you do want to make sure is that your PayPal account is set up as I think you can set it up as a nonprofit. I'm pretty positive.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Okay. So you can say, this is my nonprofit PayPal account. And when you send in a donation, you will get a tax ID number or whatever the case. Make sure all those things are good. So before you do that, like, go shoot the video today, go shoot it. But before you put it out, okay, go through all the steps that you would need to have done.
Right.
Get those steps done, then launch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So, but make that the priority. You see what I'm saying? Don't let this get like 2 weeks.
Right.
Focus on it, get it done. Because then you just let it sit out there and let it see how long it's going to take. Are you on Instagram?
No.
Okay. When you do start doing those empowering quotes and stuff, that's a good place for it. Okay.
So, is Instagram shorter, like how Twitter is so short? Is it just?
Yeah. No. It doesn't have like no. I would call Instagram like microblogging. You don't have to have anything long or short. You don't have to have there's no parameter on whatever. You just need to make sure you have an image. That's the big thing. You have
photo.
Yeah. And they can be photos of anything. Diane, it can be your face. It could be your computer. It could be a woman. It could be whatever. It could be a throwback from like when you were younger. It could be your daughter. It could be anything. Okay. And the big thing is that you just want to make sure you have a photo up when you make the post. And then you can say, like, maybe the first picture you put up, maybe it can be you, like maybe your husband takes a picture of you or you take a selfie or whatever. And then you can just write empowered with a little heart. You know what I mean? Like, or write a picture of your, have a picture of your daughter if she's open to that, and have her write a little testimony or something and why your organization helped, or you write that testimony or whatever. I'm just saying as your first post, because sometimes that first one is kind of hard to do. But these are things that are just like a picture and then a good solid caption. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And strong. You have to come out strong. And so just write, and then every day you could just post a quote that you like or that you came up with or whatever, and create a graphic and put it up. So kind of Instagram is kind of where women empowerment, a lot of it is happening right now.
Okay.
And when you're getting your Facebook page started, what I would do is I would start on Facebook on your actual business page, whatever post you're going to put up, and then share it to your main personal page.
Oh.
So people can see it and say, you can even make an announcement like, hey guys, I've gotten my 501c3, so I'll be really focusing on this Living Waters Facebook page. Feel free to come over and join me, blah, 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 blah. You have to just kind of just put it out there and just direct people to where you want them to go and what you need to do. And the people who support you will do it, but you'll have to do it, multiple times. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. So if I share a post, you're not saying every post, but just get it started.
Yeah. Or any post you want. You can do it as often as you want. I mean, there are some, I always you have to look at your audience. You have to look at, okay, like 501c3 that you just did, this is a huge accomplishment, right? So you want everybody in your life to know. They know you want them to know, right? But if you're writing something about, you're writing daily quotes or something, no, don't put those daily quotes onto the thing. But there might be a quote that you feel really will resonate with a lot of the people that you personally know, then you put that one over there, you just have to look at it case by case. And when you post to Instagram, it will post also to your Facebook page if you start it as a business account.
Oh.
Yeah. So it'll post to your business Facebook page. Okay. And so, yeah, like maybe you want to start a group or something. You just have to think about, what do you want before you start searching for these women? What do you want to do with these women?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What platform are you going to use to really carry your message and share it, and that you'll focus on? Whatever that is, whatever, you know, and don't be afraid of learning something new. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I have to say that because I, you know, sometimes I'm like, well, I know this. I don't want to move on to something new, you know?
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to, learn something new and try something different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it, I mean, I find that some similar people on like Facebook or even Instagram, and I'm sharing the same thing. Are they getting like 3 notifications, you know, or 2?
No, if you're sharing something on Facebook and on your page,
Yeah.
on your personal page,
Right.
yeah. So I mean, they might see it twice, but listen, here's the real deal on social media. This is the thing, you know, most people only see whatever you post once. Like sometimes they don't even see a post. Right? Because the algorithms and stuff, the way that they work, they put up stuff. Like I sometimes see things from people 2 days later.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Do not worry about that. Okay. You are trying to get a message out. You're trying to create awareness. Don't worry about that piece of it. If they see it twice, they don't have to like it twice. You know what I mean? They like, so when you share it onto your, Living Waters Facebook page, you share it onto your personal page, let's just say, okay? When someone likes it on that personal page, it kind of, I don't know how they separate it, but it seems to me like what I found, that it goes to your main page. But sometimes I will post things on my Facebook page and put it on, like if I took a family picture recently, okay? Came onto my business page and I posted it onto my personal page. But on my personal page, there's like 200 and something people who have liked the picture. But on my business page, it only has maybe 30 people or something. So I think it's only from the people who are liking your page that are also on your personal page that see that business page. Does that make sense? As well as your personal. Did I just lose you? Diane? Uh-oh.
Oh, you're frozen.
I'm frozen
There you
now?
are. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you were.
Okay. You were too. That's why I was like, Diane. So I think it's only the people that are on your Facebook page. That's it. Like if they're on your business Facebook page, yeah, they may see both, but that's not a lot of people yet. So don't worry about it. Yeah. Social media is so, I mean, it's so so short, short-lived, you know. I mean, there's just no longevity in any of this stuff. If anyone wants to go back through your stuff and look at it, they can, but you know, like Instagram is like a new day every time you start. Like every time you post, it's a new thing, you know. So figure out what you like, figure out what you want to do. Like on Instagram, there's IGTV you can do. Maybe you don't want to get all into YouTube and you just want to make IGTV little snippets. Or maybe you want to do a daily inspiration post or whatever it is. But the main thing about social media is just to be consistent.
Right.
Yeah. And sometimes you're going to miss days. Like I missed yesterday, but you know, whatever. You got to just keep going.
Yeah. So do you try to post every day?
I try. Yeah. If I have something to say, some days I have nothing to say. And sometimes, you know, I mean, honestly, and then sometimes I'm just not in the mood for it, or busy, or I've got kid things going on. You know, the thing is that the world is not going to fall apart because I did not post. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you're going to have to take that mindset, because otherwise you will drive yourself batty trying to, what am I going to post today? Okay, just don't let it go multiple days. Just try, if you're trying to build on there, if you're trying to create awareness, just try to get back on to the routine, you know, next time. Like, just like if you're on a diet, you know, you might miss a day and then the next day you just try to get back on it. You know, just don't beat yourself up. You are doing something really impactful and really important. So you have other things going on than social media.
Yes. Yes, I sure do. I sure do.
Just, you want to try to remember that social media is your way of creating awareness and in front of people. That is so when you change the idea from, oh, I have to post, to, oh my gosh, like this is my mission. This is part of the plan. You know what I mean? That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So anyway, you feel like you got everything, or do you need more, or what?
I think this is a good start. It's a good start. I'll watch that video on social media, but yeah, just to kind of get what do I need to do like this week, and just, I do want to get the word out because it is timely.
Absolutely.
And but you said earlier, well, don't ask until like the third time, but then we talked about maybe in the video today, just go ahead and do like a soft ask.
No, totally. I'm just saying, this is a video. Yeah. This is an announcement, right?
Yeah.
And so, yes, use the announcement to ask. Say like, you know, I'd love if you support my organization. You know, you can say, I'm trying to raise funds right now for my admin fees, or you could just say, just support my organization, just leave it at that. And then when you go into your newsletter, you want your newsletter to be a little bit more like, remember, this might be the first time they hear from you for a long time in your newsletter. So you want to bring them up to date, that, hey, this is what's going on. I got my 501c3. I'm really excited. You know, if you'd like to check out the website, you can check it out here, whatever. And you'll see a PayPal button. You just happen to see the PayPal button, you know, but you're not drawing them to like, hey guys, I got my 501c3 now. I want you to support me, you know?
Right.
On your newsletter.
Yeah.
The written word is a little different than, you know, they're seeing your face and your excitement and all this stuff. So then on your second newsletter, you know that you're trying to kind of like warm them up to the idea of what you do. This is what I do, you know, period. Next newsletter, you know, would you like to support us? We'd love for you to support. And it's easier to ask in written when you know what you're supporting.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you're writing me a letter to say, would you support me? But like, what am I supporting? I need to know that.
Yeah.
So those are the big things.
Right. Oh, that's good. Thanks for your insight. And
yeah. Anytime. I always have fun on our calls. Yeah. So, okay. Well, I would love it if you could, have you ever been a part of a mastermind?
No.
Okay. So if you guys, I think I have you and Jackie, and I have one other person in there. I tried to make the groups pretty small. Maybe I might have 5 in your group. I don't know. I tried to make them between 3 and 5 people, because I really want you guys to start just kind of trying to develop that relationship there, because these are the people, and I decided not to keep you all in the same vein. So it's not all about women. It may not all be about youth or whatever. It's just that you guys are all in different positions, and you guys should be able to help each other and use it as a resource. So whereas we have the big tribe, I'm just trying to make it a smaller tribe for each person.
So I log in, and then how do I find?
So if you go to Social Life Academy, okay, maybe I can do my screen share.
Yes.
See if I can, hold on, because I don't know what I have on my screen right now, so hold on.
A little scary.
I know, exactly. Okay, let me try to close this down real quick.
Yeah. Well, I won't see anything other than what you share.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I just am trying to get back to something that I know. Okay, can you still see me?
Yes.
Okay, 1 second here. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh, this thing is moving so slow. Okay, I'm going to try to share. It's coming up now, so just give me a second. You tell me what you see, okay?
Okay, did you press the share button yet?
Yeah, I just pressed it.
Okay, I don't see anything quite yet. Oh, there it comes.
Okay. Oh, can you see me? I mean, not me.
Okay, yeah. See, we're on the side. You see me on the side?
Yeah, I can see you.
Yeah. Okay.
I love that you use Zoom so I can talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm like, can you give me a tutorial? Okay. Okay, so here's the deal. you're going to get to the site and you're going to come here, and then you should be able to go to the Social Life Academy content, open forum, activity, or forums. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you should be able to go to activity, and that should take you to your main page. Okay. So apparently mine is taking a long time. I don't know why my computer's moving so slow today.
Some days are like that.
I know. I'm really considering like redoing my router and all that stuff, because it's been a problem. And now I do so much on my computer, you know, all my videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry that you guys have to look at this for a second. Okay. Wow. That is like the slowest internet connection. Okay. So it should take you right into your profile. So see how it says like, who are all the members, my friends, my groups, mentions. Okay. So your groups would be here.
Okay.
That's how you get to the mastermind section. And I think I put, yeah, so I put you and Megan, I believe Lizzie, and Jackie and you in there into one group. So there's 5 of you in there.
Okay.
And I just called it the Empowerment Mastermind because I feel like you all are doing something related to empowerment. And you met with Jamia.
Yes.
On the last call. But really what I want you guys to do in here is I just want you to start like putting in your goals. Like even if it's just say, like you go out back and you post your 90-day goals, just to say, this is what my goal is. And even just to share, like I got my 501c3, here's what I'm going to be doing over the next week. And it's so that there's some accountability for you guys. Hold on one second. Let me stop. I'm going to stop the share. Okay. Now, when you go back in here, see, that wasn't there earlier. That's where you should be able to go to your profile. I didn't know why.
Profile.
Maybe I scrolled down or something. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, you should be able to go to your profile. And then in there, you can just, this is what it should look like. I don't have a background on there. And you should see everything. Like I'm in groups right now, but you should be able to see everything when you go to activity. And any notifications that you have are here. And then if you want, you can go and create your own form. So say that we don't have a call scheduled over the week. I mean, over the month, let's just say. You can go to forums and you can start your own forum, or you can come here into activity and just write on here. But when you write, if you want me to see it or you want someone else to see it in the group, tag that person.
And how do you do that?
Oh, you're like, yeah.
This is all new for me.
So no, it's okay. So it's just like you would do on Facebook at whoever. So I'm putting at Tess. I don't know why D is, there it is. Okay. So at Test, and then I just would click that and then start writing. Or you can just write and then at the end of it, click me or whoever else you want to see it. I don't think you have to do all that if you're friends with people and maybe they just see your stuff. I don't know. I'm still learning it too. But you'll get notifications and just like if I tagged you, because I think I tagged you in a couple things. So you'll see all of that.
Okay. I just have to get on here more often.
Yeah. And that's what I want you guys to start using it more often. But I had to figure it out first, which is why I called this beta and why I tried to make it as little as good, because I'm like, you guys need to see, like, this is not going to be perfect right away. But I wanted to have my main group just so that you guys can like help me kind of figure out like, what do you want to see? And if there's something more that you want to see from the program, from the academy, like just let me know, because that is helpful.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you guys are at a point where, oh yeah, go ahead, Diane, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, I feel like you guys are at a point right now where learning and understanding social media and how to kind of get your own social kind of up and running would be really helpful. So let me know if that's something that you would be interested in. And if there are more people who want to hear about board development, I will focus on that for next month. And then in July, or not next month, yeah, June. And then in July, we have our QuickBooks person coming on, which I think will be extremely beneficial. Because I cannot explain that. She would have to explain that to you. But she makes it really easy and fun. So anyway, all right, I better get off this call. It's 11. All right.
Thank you, Ashley.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. And I want to hear what's going on. Tag me in some of your posts too. If you end up posting, like when you do your video.
Okay.
Tag me. I love that stuff.
Okay. All right. Thanks. You have a great day.
Thanks. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.